Hey, Mike, I don't have a really cool proposal story. I mean, most important thing is Sarah said yes. I don't know if you had an elaborate proposal to Oni, a story that she will tell forever, but this jazz dancer, this is one of the coolest ones I've ever seen. A lot of people don't like stadium proposals or jumbotron proposals. That's not what this is. First of all, let's see, but this is different though. First of all, my man got a dancer. So let's just start with that. My man got a Utah Jazz dancer. So he already won. Now, this is like a Steph Curry pull up from the logo. Like, the whole dance crew is dancing to a different tune. She doesn't know what's happening because this is elaborate proposal. So this man will have this young lady, congratulations, here's to a lifetime of happiness. She will be telling this story for the rest of her days. Because you know they love the story. You gotta love this one, Michael, right? You're quiet. I'm concerned that you don't like this one. I'm concerned. Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, don't ruin this for me.
It's great, but it's public. It's in front of all these folks. I don't know that, and I gotta tell you, and it's a beautiful story. And Haley, I hope you're with me on this. I don't know the nature of their relationship. I don't know the nature of their relationship. So, like, I don't know. It's all like this pressure. Maybe she didn't want this like this. I don't know. Maybe they're not ready for this.
Okay.
This is all.
First of all,
when it's public like this, everybody assumes that the relationship is fully formed. It's all ready to go. They talked about this, but we don't know. We don't know.
Okay.
This is too much pressure on the recipient. I don't like that.
Okay. First of all,
Maybe
let's properly introduce our guests. This is Haley O'Shaughnessy's, the co-host of the Spencer's podcast. Her first appearance here on Brother from Another. Just want to give you a proper introduction. Thank you so much, Haley, for coming through. Now, please set Michael Holley straight.
I'm sorry. I'm firmly no public proposals. It's just for exactly why he said, what if you're not sure? Think about all the times that you know somebody who you found out that their significant other, you could be the friend of the person who's getting proposed to, or you could be the friend who's about to do it, and you know they shouldn't do it. People are clueless. People use power inappropriately, and proposing in front of an arena of thousands of people is using power very inappropriately.
That's an abuse of power?
Haley,
that's an abuse of power,
Haley,
is what you're saying?
Yes.
I'm telling you, hey, that's a sign that something like, why do you need that? Why do you need that?
But
why
wait.
do you need to do it there? Why there in front of all those folks? Ooh, I don't know.
Also, they made her look, she looked like she didn't know the routine. That is, for me, the scariest moment. So that's kind of another power thing. First, you're thinking, let me induce fear into her. Oh my God, I forgot this thing that is my job. And then right after that, you're going to replace that fear, swoop in with some relief, and then love. He's love bombing her. It's just not for me. Luckily, I am I'm neither dating him nor a Utah Jazz dancer.
Wait a second. Okay. Michael and I argue daily about some play call or some decision that didn't work out, and Michael thinks it was a bad decision because it didn't work out. Clearly, this worked out. Like, she seemed elated. She seemed thrilled. So
she had to.
Look at the film.
She had to
watch the film.
Way. What do you do?
She looked complete.
What are you gonna do? What if you say you gonna stand there and do like this? Look at this. Look at this, MF. I'm like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
He did this at her job, at her place of work.
Oh.
Okay, that's a whole other thing. Yes, that's a problem. I mean, what if you're on the air right now? Believe you're both married. Let's use me for this example. If somebody came and proposed to me right now, and I'm on with you guys, what am I going to do? I'll fake it. Even if I don't want to marry this person, I'll just fake it. And I'll be like, oh, yes, of course, I'm so happy because I'm in my place of work, technically, which is funny because I'm also in my bedroom. But yes, I would.
I'll accept your representation on this. I guess I just always came from the school of thought, like, if you want to be married, first of all, okay, y'all looking at this from a completely negative place. Y'all looking at it like, how do we know if the relationship is fully formed? How we know she ain't been waiting for this day for years? How we know they haven't been laying up at night, not that I have experience in this, how we know they haven't been laying up at night, shacking up, living in sin, and she been asking him, yo, what we doing? When is this happening? What are we waiting on? What am I? My biological clock is ticking. You know, like how do we know that this hasn't been a lifetime dream of hers to be proposed to in front of a stadium full of people on her job while she's messing up the routine, thanks to all the people who are in coordination with this. This is so special. This is the best proposal. Haley, I'm sorry. This is your first time, but I got to disagree with you on this. This is the best. What about the Adele proposal? What about when the dude brought his girlfriend out and she was blindfolded and Adele started singing? You've been telling me, where's your romance? Where's your sense of creativity? See, y'all say y'all want us to be creative. You say you want us to go the extra mile. Then when we do, you want to nitpick the proposal? Really?
Yeah, I want you to be creative. Haley? Just not in front of 20,000 people. Yeah, be creative. By yourself,
Haley,
you need 20,000 people for your creativity.
Michael, I'm not interested in you. I'm not interested in you. I'm interested in Haley.
I'm not interested in you either. I'm not interested in you either. Okay.
Haley, you don't want somebody professing their love for you in front of the masses? Isn't that the ultimate grand gesture? You're not into grand gestures? It's not your love language?
I don't want to be perceived by the masses ever. It doesn't have to be about love. It doesn't have to be about anything. I do not want to be the center of attention, especially if it's at a life-changing moment.
Okay, I'm gonna just take this L. I'm gonna just hold the L. I've lost this. I've lost this one. Let's just go ahead and move right along. Actually, we'll get to the bad stuff in a minute. Since we're experiencing growth on today's show, earlier. We were discussing, I'm sure you saw it, was Ja Morant and his acknowledgement has a negative connotation, his acknowledgement that he was bothered by a courtside fan saying in jest, maybe you should sit back down because the Grizzlies were performing so well in his absence. What'd you think of, forget the fan's an idiot. What'd you think of Ja Morant actually acknowledging that he was bothered by this?
Well, first of all, as a Scorpio, I understand what it means to be sensitive.
We really getting
and
personal.
So, I mean, yeah, look, and I don't mean sensitive in a bad way. I just mean I know what it's like to have your feelings hurt and be open about it. And usually it's pretty rewarding. What's cool about Ja and this new generation of like Gen Z players is that you will notice, this is not basketball analysis at all, that they are more open in ways that maybe the millennials and older millennials weren't. Like another example of this is they show a lot of affection to their teammates, and they'll like send hearts on Twitter. Like there's just a lot of things that I'm hoping it's a movement that they'll be more open. But I 100% speak your feelings, because if you're upset, I mean, this has got to be a totally new thing for him. You've got to think about it. He came into this team, was unexpectedly became immediately their franchise icon, right? Their leader. And he's experienced nothing but warmth from this fan base. So this has to be a total shock for him. I know he said he's stepping away from social media. I'm very glad that he's doing that. Even if it was a joke, even like you said, if it was in jest, this would make me really upset. And also, I think that you start to question yourself. Like, you've been out for a while. If you're out of work, if you haven't been writing, haven't been talking in a while, I mean, this is again personal experience. You feel a little bit like, wow, do I still have it? Am I missing it? Players always experience that. They go through real mental dips. It's difficult to be out when you're, watching the rest of your team, especially do so well. And the thing that they did well on was defense. Ja is not known for his defense. I'm sure that there are just a lot of things that could potentially altogether bother him. And I don't think anything's wrong with admitting something bothered you.
Okay. Yeah. Now, you said you like this generation, that is more open and more expressive. Has it inspired you? You talked about some of the personal things, speaking from personal experience. Has it inspired you to say, okay, I'm going to be more like that? Because I know I have. I'm working on it. I'm not there. I'm far from it.
No, it definitely has. I mean, I'm not going to go propose to somebody in the middle of an arena, but yeah, like I really am. It's nice. They're more expressive. Like the kids are going to save us. They've got check. We're going to be more open and vulnerable. Check. They're saving the environment, and that's good enough for me. So I'm all for Gen Z. I'm going to support Ja till the end of the earth. He's also one of the most fun players in this league right now. He's been in the league for 3 years. That is the other point I guess I'll make about him. We have to remember Ja has never had a normal NBA season. He was drafted 2019. His first year ended in COVID. It ended short. So he has absolutely never had any normalcy that we would expect for a player to have. So yeah, be sensitive, be open that it hurts you, because jokes can hurt too. And I'm fine with that.
Jokes can hurt you.
I appreciate that. speaking of the lack of normalcy, or maybe this is normalcy, maybe this is the new normal. I think Baxter Holmes put out, this is probably dated by now, that 117 players have been on the health and safety protocol, 101 this month, and it's just the NBA we're talking about, as the NFL struggles and as the NHL takes an earlier pause than it was supposed to for Christmas. And then you have Adam Silver. This is stuff that's just rolling in just within the hour, saying that the NBA has no plans right now to pause the season amid COVID-19 outbreaks, and specifically the Omicron variant, which Silver says constitutes 90% of the league's cases. And of course, that league, 97% of which is vaccinated. And he also said that I think 60% or so is boosted or has a booster shot. Look, 65%. You know, God knows who's going to be available in a couple of days for the NBA Showcase event, which is Christmas Day. I mean, we got our Christmas present early, Haley, in the form of Steph Curry in Madison Square Garden breaking all-time three-point record. How are you, as a keen and astute NBA observer, handling this craziness in terms of what to make of the teams and who's in, who's out? But what is the NBA to do? I'm not looking for you for the answers. I guess all of us are making it up as we go along. But how do you see this affecting the outcome? What is the right answer? Bubble, pause, decreasing the protocols like the NFL just did? What's the right answer?
Yeah, that was nuts. I saw that the NBA was considering that, not testing unless you have symptoms, but they hadn't officially passed that. I also saw the Adam Silver comments. I don't think anymore it's a matter of what's right, because what I think is right, what I think is safe is not what a league run by people who make money. That's, their one defining trait is that they've made money and they want to continue to make money. The league's not going to shut down. Definitely not before Christmas, like you said. They want the Christmas day game bag for sure. They're not for any reason going to mess up that advertising, and probably not at all. I mean, that's something that's been true of a lot of national crises in our country, including this pandemic, is the need to ask the question, how bad does this need to be for something to happen? Which is a question that the NBA has already made their stance clear on. In this case, with the league shutting down, they're not going to do it. I'm not a virologist. Adam Silver's not a virologist. I'm sure that he is talking to, I would hope he's talking to some. I think that because the NBA reflects society so much and vice versa, what we're seeing is probably it's really scary that people we know are getting it. And, but if you're vaccinated, there's this public perception that, largely you will be fine. You won't be hospitalized. You might have a couple of days that are bad. And I'm just saying this is what it seems like. And so I feel like that's what we're all going off of anymore is what everything seems like. It changes all the time. So yes, that being said, with minimal effects, a league powered by billionaires was not shutting down. They still did the bubble. They have not missed a playoffs. They weren't shutting down then. They are definitely not shutting down now. So I didn't really have an answer for you. I more had a cynicism. But yes, I think that we won't even know. At the end of this, we'll probably hear, oh, now these players are fine to come back. Every single day, it's probably going to keep changing because you don't really know you have it until it's too late. And then you've been around people, especially if they're all vaccinated. I think we have this sense of security for sure.
Haley, just know that your answer was far better than my question. So thank you for salvaging that. Go ahead, Michael.
I do. It was a good question. It was a good answer. And now I want to take it away from the mountaintop of the billionaires, where the gods live and drink their nectar.
You don't mean to talk more about capitalism?
Yeah, I like that. But see, let's bring it down. Let's bring it down to our level. And Haley, we've had so many conversations, Michael and I have, about COVID and how people respond to it, people who are anti-vaxxers, people who are all about the vaccinations and boosters. I'm just wondering, what's it been like for you in your everyday life, just going around town, doing your normal thing, in interacting with people who are like-minded and who aren't? Like, how are you processing just this as an everyday citizen in the United States?
This is a good time for me to talk about this because I was in LA and now I'm in Kentucky with my family. And so things are drastically different. There are both viewpoints, both places, but Kentucky right now does not have a mask mandate. Overall, LA did. But, you know, it's also been a lot easier for people to get tests here. For me, especially, I guess we are just talking about, you know, personal experience. It's not like I'm an expert on the testing in LA or Kentucky. I feel like we all might be a little bit experts though, just because we've been so scared that we've researched literally everything these last couple of months. So look, when somebody disagrees with what I think is safest, and I have family members that do, I just try to have the conversation of where I'm coming from. Sometimes it's worked, sometimes it hasn't. And the one thing I'm really lucky for is that it hasn't affected anybody in my immediate family, because that's the thing, is like, this isn't just a normal debate. This isn't a debate about like, oh, Kyrie versus, you know, I was going to say Kemba. I got to stop doing that because I feel bad for Kemba. You know, at some point we're going to have to give him a break. It's not a debate like that. It's not a sports debate. It's a debate that actually revolves around health. And so, I have not had always productive conversations, but I have talked a couple of my friends into getting the booster just last week. So I did my part, I suppose. I'm wearing masks even in Kentucky.
Listen, that's real. I mean, it's a journey. You know, my wife was scrambling, looking for at-home tests today. You know, as we prepare to host people this weekend. Yeah, it's you know, I'm processing everything you said a minute ago, Haley.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what it is. And maybe Silver might be onto something. Like, we're not going to beat this thing.
What a quote from him. That's a great quote from Adam Silver.
Which one?
Yeah, this virus will not be eradicated. We all have to learn to live with it. That's a great quote.
Yeah, because I mean, because Haley, I know I was frustrated watching the NFL. You know, again, go the opposite direction of where I thought it should go. And when it comes to testing vaccinated players, I thought everybody should be tested every day if the goal is to reduce transmission. But you're right, if the goal is to play the games in all these sports, or just to go along with our lives, they're a microcosm. Like, larger society, that's like asking, is society going to shut down again? Like, and at least in this country, we ain't standing for that.
Not
you know,
in the
they did
US,
it once, they ain't doing it
no.
again. No, right? And so we're here in large part because we didn't do what was necessary on the front end. So what do we do now? We can't undo that. What do we do now? Probably got no choice other than to learn to live with it.
Yeah.
Just don't skip
I
people
think it's
in
more
line.
of a reality of it's not really a reality anymore of like, how do we stop it? It's more like, what are we expecting people to expect us to deal with? And so, yeah, that's kind of, it's just the reality. Like, the NBA is not going to stop. The NFL is not going to stop. NHL, I was shocked, but I don't expect anything more than what happened initially, because that was, you know, the most terrifying time. And I think that was very telling for any institution, not just sports, how they handled it. And so, yeah, while it's not it's not my personal belief of what should happen, it is very much my belief that this is what's going to continue to happen. Adam Silver, everyone else says, well, we're going to live with it anyway. Larger society is going to live with it anyway. However, I don't think, like, yes, test every day. The thing is long COVID does exist. I probably for vaccinated people too. Again, I'm saying probably because I am not. On that little ticker that has like my name and stuff, just put on the bottom one, not a virologist. That would be great, just for, you know, lawsuit reasons.
Clarity.
Yeah, just for clarity. But the thing is, like, I would rather, look, if you've got it, stay inside, stay away from people. The NBA product is not as good. Like, this last week, Jordan, my co-host, and I started playing a game with her. Is this a real lineup or a fake lineup? And because, you know, some of them were ridiculous. The thing is that I think we're forgetting And this is why I'm on the side of no, test every day. Don't go the opposite way like the NFL did. We still don't know the long effects. We still don't know.
Yeah.
It's not the flu. You know, this thing is still new. And even if it's just like your taste, you know what I mean? You're missing your taste. That's still a neurological function to be able to taste.
Significant.
So yeah, A, you don't get to eat. B, well, I mean, you can eat, but what's the joy? You know, what's
exactly right.
And then
speaking
B,
of joy, I mean, the Omicron is the Grinch because, you know, reportedly the NBA has told teams to be prepared as late as the 24th for contingencies with regards to the Christmas Day game. And then earlier today, the Raptors charter was taxiing on a runway to take flight to Chicago. To your point, Haley, about fake lineups, 7 players in protocols, injuries, and 6 regular players plus replacements available to play the Bulls on Wednesday. That's from Woj earlier. It's just, thanks for helping us try to make sense of it. It is our belief that you're awesome. The Spencer's podcast is awesome. Let's make this the first of many regular visits, okay? If
yeah,
you'd be
please.
so
Thanks, guys. Yeah, anytime you want to talk about capitalism, call me.
Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave, and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.